Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind, Namaskar, and welcome to the platform of Khan Global Studies. So, I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Good evening, everyone. So, I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Yes, good evening, Aditya. Have a great evening to you also. And yeah, like last day, due to some personal work, I was out of town. So I welcome you all to this session. And see, there is one very important part. Like last day, we cannot cover current affairs, but we are covering some of the important topics from last day also. In today's newspaper, there were no such many important articles. So we have in fact covered some of the important articles of last day's newspaper also. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the session. So the topics which we are going to discuss, let's have a look at this. The topics which we are going to discuss in today's session. First of all, it is about the uranium enrichment. This is one of the news article which is quite much famous these days, especially with respect to the Iran nuclear program. Then we have this one thing, India Malaysia ties, that is related to your GS paper 2, international relations. So that is the second topic which we will discuss. The third topic which we are going to talk about is the Indian telescopes. Now, this is a very important topic from prelims perspective. Okay. So, from prelims perspective, this is quite important topic, Indian telescope. And in same manner, we have this another topic from economy, that is non-performing assets. We are also having a topic about non-performing assets. So, these are certain topics which we are going to discuss in today's session. But before we go into that, just solve some questions on the basis of the previous classes. So here we have the first question. The ban on rat hole mining has been enforced all over the country by union government. There is higher prevalence of coal mining in Meghalaya due to better quality of coal than other states. There is mock test beginning from foundation batch 15th Feb foundation batch 2026. Kumar Shamu, I am not having the idea right now about this particular thing, but okay, I will just it is difficult to copy from here from the comment box, but I will send it to the team. Okay, and by tomorrow I will give you a response on this. Okay. D option. The ban on rat hole mining has been enforced all over the country by union government. This is incorrect. Why this is incorrect? I think you know this. Okay. I think you know this, that it is not by the union government. It is done by the state governments. Second thing is, there is higher prevalence of coal mining in Meghalaya due to better quality. You know that it's not better quality. It's not better quality. So this second option is also incorrect. So correct answer here will be option number D, neither one nor two. सर यूपीएससी के लिए कितना दिन का करंट में हो जाएगा 27 के लिए? हाँ, राइट नाउ यू कैन स्टार्ट मंगिता गुप्ता, यू कैन स्टार्ट करंट अफेयर्स फ्रॉम जनवरी 26 टिल मार्च और अप्रैल 2027. पीवाईक्यू का अपलोड करवा दीजिए मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम में. शंकर, आई विल टेल द टीम, बट PIQ is generally available, generally also like on websites and other. For those people who have just joined, those who are preparing for 2027, if you have to prepare, you should be preparing from January 2026. Means अभी से जो current affairs है उसको करते जाओ. Even if you have not been able to attend the sessions of January 2026, don't worry about it. You can cover it via magazine also. Then coming to the second part, sodium ion battery has more recyclability as compared to lithium ion batteries. Okay, Parth, I will go through that. Okay. Sodium ion battery has more recyclability as compared to lithium ion battery. Sodium ion battery has a higher risk of thermal runaway. It's done by state government, correct? PYQ टेस्ट के बारे में ओके आई विल इन्फॉर्म दैट टू द टीम शंकर so what will be the answer here Parth yes I have gone through it but मुझे कहीं मिला नहीं उसका आवाहन बैच इंग्लिश मीडियम में कब आएगा आई विल टेल यू अबाउट दिस आई विल आस्क द टीम एंड विल इन्फॉर्म यू अकॉर्डिंगली अबाउट दिस A option and D option. Sodium ion battery has more recyclability as compared to lithium. No, lithium can be recycled. Lithium can be recharged and recycled multiple times as compared to sodium. Sodium ion battery has a higher risk of thermal runaway. That is also incorrect. Sodium ion battery has a lower risk of thermal runaway. It is more in the case of lithium ion battery. So sodium is not as recyclable. It is not as recyclable as lithium. Okay. Now coming to the third question. How many of the following are members of Gulf Cooperation Council? UAE, Oman, Iran and Kuwait. No, if you are trying to get the form filled through general category, you will not need any certificate. अगर आप जनरल कैटेगरी से अगर भरना चाहते हो, if you are not trying to get any benefit of reservation, then you will not have to provide any of the document. Nay, Parth, just make the notes from the sessions. No need to make notes from the newspaper. Just make notes from these sessions. It will be sufficient. C option. Which one is not a member? Can you tell me which of them is not a member? Which of them is not a member? Yes, correct. So Iran here is not a member. We have UAE, Oman, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. Apart from this, Bahrain, Qatar and Saudi Arabia. So three more countries are there, Bahrain, Qatar and Saudi Arabia, who are part of it. So here the correct answer is option number C. Now, coming to this one article, there is one thing called as uranium enrichment. Now, there is this one thing called as uranium enrichment. What is the context? Okay. Context is this. You may have seen that earlier we have seen this one part that US has said that they have destroyed the nuclear facilities. There was a claim. That claim was by US that what? They destroyed nuclear facility of Iran. Earlier they have made this claim that they have destroyed it. Now there is again a concern. They are saying that Iran is again making, or Iran is again going for this new uranium enrichment. So now we see that Iran, it is continuing. This is a country which is continuing with uranium enrichment. With this uranium enrichment. So now the question is, what is uranium enrichment? And why do Iran or any country goes for doing this uranium enrichment? Why they are going for uranium enrichment and what is the meaning of it exactly? Okay, I will tell that also, Arshad. Okay. Now see it here. When we talk about a natural uranium, you will find that in naturally we have the majority portion, that is uranium-238. Now this is non-fissile. Whereas uranium-235, this is something which is fissile. Fissile material. What is the meaning of fissile and non-fissile? Fissile material means the one which can easily break down, the one which can easily break down, the one which can start the chain reaction. Uranium-235 is going to break down into simpler portions like barium krypton and will release enormous amount of energy followed by three free electrons also. So it is releasing three neutrons. It is releasing three highly energetic neutrons, a huge amount of energy, and produces two small atoms. It can be in form of barium or krypton, which is quite common. The uranium-235 can easily disintegrate. It is so big that it cannot handle itself. It will break down. But at the same time, uranium-238 is somewhat more stable. It is not that much fissile. It will not automatically go under this process of nuclear fission. Now, what we see that in order to make a fuel good for nuclear reactor, we need to increase. Okay, in order to make a fuel, a good fuel, we need to enrich or we need to increase the amount of uranium-235. अगर हमें एक फ्यूल को और ज्यादा कैपेबल बनाना है, एक फ्यूल को हमें उसकी पावर, उसकी कैपेसिटी को बढ़ानी है, तो वी नीड टू हैव मोर एंड मोर नंबर ऑफ uranium-235. We have to increase the concentration of uranium-235. So this process of enhancing the uranium-235, this is what we call as enrichment. And normally we get around 3 to 5% enrichment, almost 3 to 5% enrichment. This is for nuclear reactors. ये हमारे यहां यूज होता है for the nuclear reactors as a fuel. And this is what we call as enriched uranium. You can see here we have got only one ball, orange color, that is uranium-235. Here you can see at least 4 different uranium-235. तो ये पहला पार्ट है कि what is this normal enrichment, the one which is used for nuclear reactors. It is used as a fuel in nuclear reactor. But US is not concerned about this enrichment. US को इससे प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. US is concerned about the next level of enrichment, which is like nuclear weapon capable. It can be even from 20% enrichment. If there is enrichment, then it is considered weapon grade. Then it is considered as weapon grade. If a country is having 20% enrichment of the uranium, it is said that they are probably developing a nuclear weapon. This is called as nuclear weapon grade uranium enrichment. Weapon grade uranium enrichment. Now, you may be having one question, why there is a difference in this? For fuel, we are requiring only 3 to 5% enrichment, whereas for a weapon, we need 20% or even up to 90% of enrichment. So why do we require it? See, there is quite a simple concept. If you are having a nuclear power reactor, you can provide it energy multiple times. But if you are having a nuclear bomb, you have to drop it once. ऐसा नहीं कि आपने बॉम्ब गिराया और फिर वहां जाके उसमें आग लगा रहे हैं, चलो चलो तुम भी स्टार्ट हो जाओ. Okay. So when we are having this nuclear bomb, it has to be self-sustainable. Once it gets the required pressure, once it gets the required impact, then the reaction has to automatically start. It has to be spontaneous. It has to generate enormously high amount of energy. So that's why the weapon grade uraniums are often highly enriched uranium. So I hope now that is clear. Okay. D2O is different. D2O, the one thing which you are asking, that is heavy water. That is a different thing. It is used to absorb the neutrons. Now there is a machine. There is a machine for enrichment. There is a machine for enrichment. And that machine is simply called as centrifuge. Centrifuge. Okay. So this machine which is there, yes. So this machine which is there, centrifuge, it is something which is used for enriching. It is used for enriching this uranium. Can we make weapons other than any mineral than uranium? No, generally uranium is preferred one. We can make hydrogen bomb also, but for nuclear bomb we need uranium. Okay, uranium is one material which is naturally radioactive. चाइना वाला वैसे ही है जैसा आप बोल रहे हैं. So this is one part. What is uranium? What is its enrichment? I hope it's clear. Any doubt, any confusion in this? First thing, what is civil grade uranium? Second thing, what is uranium enrichment? Third, what are the constituents? Fourth, in case of nuclear weapons, what should be the enrichment level? I hope on all these 4 points, it is clear to you that what are these terms. Any doubt in this? Any doubt, any confusion? Good evening, Khushbu. It is used in weapons. Chandresh, it is used in weapons. तो सर यूरेनियम का स्ट्रॉन्ग न्यूक्लियर फोर्स कंपैरेटिवली लो रहेगा. यस. So we were having 3-4 different things. First, what is this? Plutonium is not naturally radioactive. Sir, was there any class on Adhyan Batch? No, last day it was not there. We didn't have the class in the last day in Adhyan Batch. I was not here at any center. So that's why I was on leave for 1-2 days. Plutonium can be used as a nuclear fuel, but not in weapons. It is because of high number of protons, not electrons, protons. Okay. Now, and it also depends on the structure, the arrangement of it. It depends on the structure and arrangement of it. Now, coming to this one part, India and Malaysia. India and Malaysia. So, do you know where is Malaysia? Any idea about this? Where is Malaysia? In which part of the world we have Malaysia? In which part of the world do we have Malaysia? Recently, there has been a signing of a deal between India and Malaysia. Yes, it is there as part of Southeast Asia. This is the portion of Indonesia. Here you will find this Malaysia area, this peninsular Malaysia, and then this portion also. This entire portion is Malaysia. This entire portion which you see in the orange color, that is Malaysia. So Malaysia is a country in the Southeast Asia region. It is located in the Southeast Asia region. Now we have got a deal with Malaysia. We have got a deal with Malaysia. So let's see what are the components of these deals. First part you can notice here, expansion of military to military cooperation. The first part is about the defense. The first part is related to the defense deal between both countries. The expansion of military to military cooperation, maritime security, intelligence sharing, and defense industry collaboration. So we are working on these forums where we are going for industry collaboration, defense industry collaboration, maritime security, intelligence sharing. That is defense part. Second part you can see, it is also about global supply chain for advanced manufacturing, AI, and digital technologies. Okay. So you may have seen that there is a Pax Silica. There is a Pax Silica having the same aim, almost having the same aim. So in the same manner, we are having one deal with that of Malaysia also. Malaysia uses the AI system significantly higher than us. So we are having the development of AI, advanced manufacturing and digital technology deal with that of Malaysia. When we talk about this, it is also about increasing the trade in goods, services and investment. Okay. So we are also focusing on all these things and even renewable energy and green hydrogen. So there is a focus on increasing the trade in goods, services plus also cooperation in the energy sector. So defense plus the supply chain of AI and digital technologies. Third, goods, services and energy sector. Fourth portion, you can see it here. We have a fourth section, that is zero tolerance against terrorism, radicalization and cross-border terrorism. So there is also a cooperation on US peacekeeping forces, that both countries will continue to have multiple military exercises. Can you tell me any one of the very famous military exercise of India and Myanmar? Can you tell me this one thing? Any such famous exercise of India and, sorry, not Myanmar, India and Malaysia? Any famous exercise which is there between India and Malaysia? कोई ऐसा famous exercise है क्या? Any such famous exercise, military exercise between India and Malaysia? Rishul. Okay. Harimo Shakti, yes. Harimo Shakti is the most famous one between India and Malaysia. You will find this. There is a deepened cooperation on agriculture, particularly in oil palm cultivation and trade in staple commodities. See this one part. Malaysia is one of the major supplier of this palm oil to India. Malaysia is one of the major supplier of this palm oil to India. So now there is a cooperation on cultivation of the palm oil in Malaysia also. And even this one very important part, Malaysia India Digital Council, which is going to focus on fintech, cyber security and digital public infrastructure. So Malaysia India Digital Council has also been formally established. It is going to look into the payment system integration. There is a deal on merger of the payment system for low value or low cost cross border transaction. तो क्रॉस बॉर्डर ट्रांजेक्शन के लिए भी ये एक इंपॉर्टेंट डील साइन होने जा रहा है. Now, if you look at the importance of this region, what is the significance of this low cost payment system integration? Why this is significant? क्यों significant होगा? See, Malaysia is home to the second largest population of Indian diaspora. इंडियन ओरिजिन के जो सेकेंड हाईएस्ट लोग रहते हैं दैट इज इन मलेशिया आफ्टर यूएस द सेकेंड मेजर डेस्टिनेशन ऑफ इंडियन डायस्पोरा. You will find this one thing, like approximately 2.7 million people. 2.7 million people are there. 2.7 million Indian people who are living in Malaysia. In the case of defense exercise, you can see Harimo Shakti, Samudra Lakshman and Udar Shakti. So they are the three major military exercises between India and Malaysia. You will find the trade volume is near about $18.59 billion in 2025. Third largest trade partner of India. Third largest trade partner of India in ASEAN. It's not the third largest trade partner in general, but among the ASEAN countries, it is the third largest trade partner of India. So we see that there is a lot of potential here. There is a lot of potential in improving the relation. It has been going on since 1957. So there is in fact almost 70 years now There is almost 70 years now of this relation between like India and Malaysia. तो अभी नया डील भी साइन हुआ है अबाउट ऑलमोस्ट 11 डिफरेंट थिंग्स वेर वी आर ट्राइंग टू इंप्रूव आवर रिलेशन. सी, वी आर टेकिंग द सेम अप्रोच विथ आसियान. We are taking the same approach with ASEAN as compared to we are taking the same approach with ASEAN as we have done in the case of European countries. When the European Union was not making a deal with us, what we did, we made multiple deals with multiple countries of that region of Europe. And so many countries have already signed the deal that signing a European Union free trade agreement was quite simple. Okay. It is rich and developed. Diaspora at UAE is 4.3 million. Okay, I will check, but this is what PIB says. This is what PIB says, but I will check. Okay. Palm oil is injurious to health. Yes, that's correct. But palm oil is used for multiple purposes. Palm oil is one of the major oil which is being used in country. So yes, of course, it is harmful to health, but most of your cookies, most of your biscuits, most of your fried items, the packaged fry items are coming in palm oil. So many of the packaged goods which you are consuming, it's coming in palm oil. So this is the major one used by the industry right now. Now, coming to the third part. The third part which we have today is the Indian telescopes. So, Government of India has announced 4 different telescopes. Government ने बोला कि we are going to have 4 different telescopes. One will be called as National Large Optical Infrared Telescope. The another will be National Large Solar Telescope. Third is upgradation. Third is basically upgradation of existing. Upgradation of the Chandra telescope. And the fourth one is Cosmos 2 Planetarium. The government ने decide किया in budget 2026-27 that we are going to build 4 different types of telescope in India. अब just look at their name. अगर आप सिर्फ नाम देखोगे तो आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि what is the role of them. What will be the role of them? You can easily understand. See the first one. It is saying National Large Optical Infrared Telescope. First thing is all of them are telescope. So they will be for observation of galaxies or stars, various part of the universe. That is common in telescope. Now we have the Large Optical Infrared Telescope. So can you guess what will be its main feature? इसका सबसे main feature क्या होना चाहिए? From the name itself, what you can just tell me that this National Large Optical Infrared Telescope, what could be its potential application? इसका क्या क्या potential application हो सकता है? Can you guess about this? What can be the potential application? कहां पे इस्तेमाल किया जाएगा? क्या इस्तेमाल किया जाएगा? डिटेक्ट लॉन्गर वेवलेंथ. टू कैप्चर मोर डिटेल्स इन इमेजेस. चलो ये तो बात ठीक है. टू कैप्चर मोर डिटेल्स इन इमेजेस. One answer which has been given by Khushbu, the first answer, that it will be used for detecting the longer wavelength. That is somewhat correct. Okay. तो it will be seeing the faint object. ये जो है वो faint object को देखने के काम आएगा. So it is not for clear viewing of nearby objects. If you look at this, when we talk about this telescope, it is going to strengthen India's ability to observe faint and distant celestial objects, including exoplanets, nebula, and galaxies. It is not about nearby thing. It is for far off related things, far off based things. That is one part. Second thing is, it will be having the optical and infrared wavelength. Means it will be making use of light plus infrared. The visible light plus the infrared is going to be used by this telescope. So this is going to help in understanding about the universe, in understanding about the cosmos. So that is correct. One of the main part is it is going to be using the optical wavelength and the visible wavelength. So that is one part. The first one, National Large Optical Infrared Telescope. Second part, the National Large Solar Telescope. So from the name itself, it is clear that it is going to observe the sun. ये sun को observe करेगा. So it is going to be situated near this Pangong Lake in Ladakh for studying solar activity and magnetic field. So for reading about the solar activity and all these things, there is going to be establishment of the second one, National Large Solar Telescope. So this is one part which we see. The third thing which we also see here, Himalayan Chandra Telescope. Himalayan Chandra Telescope. So here it has announced the upgradation of this telescope which is located in Ladakh. So this Himalayan Chandra Telescope is already there in Ladakh. And now we see that there is going to be an upgraded version of this. So which is going to improve its sensitivity and instrumentation. So it will be doing more such observation under the atmospheric conditions. Okay. So that is the role of this Himalayan Chandra Telescope. And one last telescope, basically it is not a telescope. This is one thing called as planetarium, Cosmos 2 Planetarium. And it is not a more like a detailed telescope. What it is going to be do? It will be developed as modern public outreach and education center. So this planetarium will be having certain telescope, but at the same time it is more for education and promotion of space and astrophysics in the country. So this is for promoting the idea. So 4 different telescopes: National Large Optical Infrared Telescope, National Large Solar Telescope, then we have the Himalayan Chandra Telescope, and the fourth one, Cosmos 2 Planetarium. So these 4 initiatives are going to be taken as per announcement in the budget of 2026-27. Then there is question, what is the need if Aditya L1 is already situated? Just to tell you one thing, Deepak. If you look at NASA has got more than 6 to 7 different satellites in the L1 orbit or nearby that L1 orbit. So we have just got one, and one might not be sufficient to cover the entire solar activities. So that's why we need to study it from all different angles. Why we place these telescopes in Ladakh? There are multiple conditions. Lower pollution, first reason. Clear sky, second reason. So clear sky is one of the major factor which helps us in direct observation of the universe. There is also lesser light pollution. Light pollution bhi kam hota hai Ladakh mein. So that's why it is considered as a preferable source for telescopic observation. Okay. Gautam, you will be getting that. Okay. High altitude is there, 5,000 meter approximately. So this is the next part, that what are these different types of, what are the different type of telescopes which has been announced by India. Okay. Now coming to the next part, NPA. What is the context here? What is the context? The context is the NPA, non-performing assets, they have come down to 2.15%. That is 2.15%. Okay. So we see that there has been a very much decline in the NPA. In 2015 to 2018 period, if you look at this, the NPA was crossing, this 10%. In 2015 to 18, the NPA of the banking sector was even higher than 10%. It has gone up to 13% also. But in the recent times, we see that the NPA has come down. The non-performing assets of the bank have come down. So now I am going to ask you this question once again. What exactly is the NPA? NPA. What is the NPA? Non-performing asset. What is this NPA? Can anyone explain me this? Non-performing assets. What is NPA? Anybody? First it passes through SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2. Good. Not paying loan. So it is for 90 days. Okay. NPA is something which we consider it in a term of 90 days. Fine. Not payment loan on given timeline like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. We have talked about this special mention account also, NPA also. So see, assets on which recovery of loan is pending. How the loan can be pending? If for 90 days, there is no principal payment, if there is no principal payment or no interest payment. So on a particular loan, if there has been neither a payment of principal amount nor a payment of interest for 90 days, then after that, this one becomes classified as NPA. This is something which gets classified as NPA. But before its classification also, it is generally moved to multiple like asset class. There is SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2. So SMA stands for special mention account. Special mention account. So can you tell me what is this limit of SMA account? There is SMA 0. There is SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2. So can you tell me what is the difference between this SMA 1, 0 and 2? What is the difference here between SMA 1, 0 and 2? What is the difference? If it is pending for 1 to 30 days, if there is a pending for 1 to 30 days, so then it becomes SMA 0. If 31 to 60 days, then it becomes SMA 1. If there is 61 to 90 days, then SMA 2. And after that, we classify it as a non-performing assets. This is more than 90 days. More than 90 days. So 1 to 30, 31 to 60 and 61 to 90. So on the basis of this, we have a special mention account 0, 1 and 2. Then there is one thing called as substandard asset, and then we have also doubtful asset. Now we see that this is one thing. SMA means paid within, not paid within 0 to 30 days. No payment means within 0 to 30 days or 1 to 30 days, then it is called as SMA. We have another thing which is called as substandard assets. There is one thing called as substandard asset. There is one thing called as substandard assets. There is also doubtful asset. And there is one thing called as lost asset. Now the loan is given to small and marginal farmers, industrialists, so there is less NPA. That is one of the reason. But the other factor is also there that now the RBI is having much more strict policies as compared to the past. So from 2013, from the time of there was Raghuram Rajan as the chief of RBI. So from the era of Raghuram Rajan itself, there was a reform in the RBI system. And gradually we see that over the period of time, NPAs have started to decrease. So initially it has increased because banks had to declare more and more NPA. Earlier what bank used to do, they don't even used to declare what is their lost asset, what is their doubtful asset. They used to keep it secret. So when it was announced, when these rules were enforced, then they have to declare more and more assets, that whether it is NP or not, whether it is lost asset or not. So then this reporting became quite transparent. And gradually what we see that due to this reporting becoming transparent, now we see a reform in the NPA era in the banking sector. Okay. So here we have substandard asset. If NPA for less than 12 months, if account remains NPA for 12 months, less than 12 months, then it is substandard. If NPA exceeds 12 months, then it is called as doubtful asset. And then we have lost asset. Recovery might not be possible. Recovery might not be possible. So that is considered as lost asset. So we have some very famous people who have made NPAs or the loans quite popular in India. So due to a few more people, many of the industrialists have got the same type of treatment. A few industrialists, they took away the money of some of the banks, then they have fled to different part of the world. They have been enjoying their stay over there, and due to them, the Indian corporate has got a very, very bad name. They have created so much challenge for the industrialist, for the corporates, rather than helping someone. That is one part which we see. What is asset? Okay. There is one thing called as writing off. There is one thing called as waiver. Waive off. And there is one thing called as write off. There is one thing called as waive off loan, and there is another thing called as write off loan. So write off loan means not keeping it not keeping it in NPA list. Not keeping it in NPA list. Okay. But bank does not forget it. Bank doesn't forget it. So that is one part. Even if they have written off a loan, that doesn't mean that you cannot collect it back. It can be collected back at any point of time. It will not be maintained as every year's NP of the banking sector. Then we have one thing called as waive off. So this is something which is generally announced by government. It is something which is generally announced by government for welfare. And here, government pays the premium. Here you will find that government pays the premium. So there is one thing called as waive off, write off and doubtful lost asset, substandard asset, NPA, SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2. Preeti Kumari, please ask your doubt. So these were the topics which we have to discuss in today's session. तो ये topics था जिसको discuss करना था आज के session में. If you are having any doubt, you can ask me now. Difference is only between time and day limit, but yes, you have to read about it. It is not about the session, it is about UPSC notification. Please ask Preeti. Please ask your question. GS और करंट अफेयर के नोट्स अलग अलग बनाए. यस अर्शद, यू कैन मेक बोथ ऑफ देम डिफरेंटली. दोनों को अलग अलग बना सकते हो. Yes, Preeti, you can upload provisional certificate also. No problem in that. You can upload provisional certificate also. There is no problem in that. Okay. You can upload your provisional certificate also. You don't have to worry about it at all. Okay. It is, see, for OBC certificate, there is a requirement of, I think, 3 years. Shankar, OBC certificate is made on the basis of income certificate of 3 years, non-creamy layer certificate. तो 3 साल पे बनवाना होगा. Then there is no problem, Shelly Makhan. There is no problem. Even if your parents have changed the name on Aadhaar card or PAN card, it doesn't matter. What matters is what's written on your ID, on your certificate, 10th certificate. Yes, Arshad, it will be more than sufficient. Just do the daily current affair classes and even 30 minutes of newspaper reading will be sufficient. No, it will be counted in general. जनरल में काउंट होगा. 2024-25 के इनकम सर्टिफिकेट बनाया है. बट शंकर यू सी ना कि ओबीसी एनसीएल में ये बोला गया है कि यू हैव टू मेक अ एनसीएल सर्टिफिकेट ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द इनकम ऑफ 3 years, 2022-23, 23-24 एंड 24-25. इसलिए विशेष टिप्पणी देखो, विशेष टिप्पणी जस्ट दिस वन थिंग कि यू नो दैट we have 30% MPs in our parliament who are having serious criminal charges pending against them, like charges of murder, kidnapping, rape, extortion. So if you are worried about Epstein files, that what if some Indian leaders are being named there, we need to worry more about this one trend. We have got 30% MPs in our parliament who have got serious criminal charges pending against them. In case of Epstein file, there might be just a name of it. There might be just a name. But in the case of our parliament, we have a full-fledged cases pending against many of them. There are so many out of them, more than 100 of them, who have even been convicted at some point, and their cases are pending in the trial right now. So we need not worry more about the Epstein files. If you look at the state government performances, it is further more challenging. In some states, more than 50%. In some of the states, more than 50% of the MLAs have criminal charges pending against them. So we don't have to worry about it. For magazine, see Arshad, what is the use of magazine? You would be able to make a very good mains related content from the magazine. It was mentioned where caste certificate is based. It is mentioned in the UPSC certificate, sorry, UPSC notification. What topics are important in environment as well? हाँ, तो in some classes I will tell you. No worry, Khushbu. For smaller amounts, you don't have to worry. About Saturday, Sunday news, see Arshad, there is one simple thing. If there is important news, it will be repeated. Like NPA is not the first time we are discussing it. If there is important news, it will get repeated. So don't worry about the Saturday and Sunday news. You don't have to worry about it at all. So give the one which you have got in August. Anshika, give the one which you have got in August. Why judiciary not taking any action against them? The judicial system works on a particular principle. The proper process is being followed, the process which has been decided by the legislature. So fast trial courts can be made, but that has to be done by the government. The official data of India-US deal have been released. No, there is no such any substantial part as of now. There is a lack of clarity on this. It is just like one minister is saying that the other ministry will tell you. The other ministry says that no, the other ministry will tell you. It is more like SBI. Okay. You have to go to the different window for getting your check cleared. So now, right now, this entire information about the US-India deal is more of like SBI Bank. Go on counter number 3 for your work. And when you go to counter number 3, they send you to counter number 5, then counter number 7, and then in loop. So that is what is happening right now. Okay. So thank you so much. Let's meet in the next session and then we will discuss the remaining things. Thank you. Take care and all the best.